Good morning, everybody. Happy 2024, and we are back at the Head-to-Head Studios for an exciting year. It's exciting.
I think that's
I'm excited. I'm Matt Trotz, Kyle Carpenter, Tournament Director, Owner, CEO, the man, Brian Keller. What's up? Hey, wait a minute.
Don't do it. I knew you were going to do it.
On three.
Everybody at the count of three. Here we go. Andy, are you ready? Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you.
You know,
In your sexiest voice. Happy birthday,
Mr. Keller. How old are you today?
44.
What?
44 years young.
I honestly don't go out to restaurants and stuff on purpose on my birthday, so why not do it live, right?
Yeah, do it live.
I don't do the whole singing on top of a chair thing at some
fans.
Mexican restaurant on my birthday. We might as well do it live.
You know what?
You get whipped
what
cream
a
in
way-
the face at the Mexican restaurants.
What's that?
You get whipped cream in the
right.
face at Mexican
Oh,
restaurants.
so is that where we're going for lunch today?
I think so.
For
I think-
Brian's birthday?
Definitely not.
Yeah,
No,
great
I'm
idea.
not.
Call us ahead.
What a way to kick off the new head-to-head season with
Right.
a birthday.
And I wish I could say we planned it like this. It just kind of happened.
It just kind of happened. Any special plans besides all the head-to-head
Gonna
stuff
be
today?
with head-to-head all day. I got nothing else to do. This is all we're gonna do. We're
This
gonna
is
do head-to-head
all we're
all
gonna
day.
Maybe we're going to do the rolling of the tape thing again.
We should.
Oh, that's such a...
Grab the
We should
tape.
probably want this tape. Leave it here.
We
gotta
should.
make-
We were having a little
Fine.
tape rolling game yesterday. We tried to go live, it just didn't work.
It just didn't work. So, yeah.
This has always been kind of my pet project, right? So I was thinking about that.
That's the only reason I'm here.
It was right. It was kind of ironic that we're kind of relaunching it today on my birthday, being this is kind of like my pet project, right? And the reason Kyle's here and the reason Kyle started talking to me was because of head-to-head, telling me how much of a moron I was and how stupid it was.
I didn't say that. Not in them words.
Not to my face anyway. I know people, Kyle.
Not in them words.
So this is kind of twofold for us. We're gonna break down the upcoming season.
Yep.
Which, God, where did I look? We're less than 16 weeks away from the first event.
Really?
Yep.
That's going to go fast.
The first
27th
walleye event, yes.
Of March.
Yep, we're closing in, and it's
March
And then
27th.
the other thing too is, as we get through today's show, we should also talk about how they're going to be able to watch Fix TV a little
Absolutely,
bit. I think it's get that out there right away and let people know. But new year, new style of H2H, like.
Whole new format.
Well, why don't we get right into it, Kyle? Like, we talked about this at the end of 2022 was the last event we had.
Hold on, I'm trying to mute my. I'm trying to get Facebook open here. All right, we're good. Sorry.
And we had it, whatever you want to call it, in 2022. So we took off 2023, and we had to re-improvise for the upcoming season.
Right.
You want to talk about a little bit what happened in 22, what led us to the season for 2024?
Yep. So 2022 was the last year that you will probably ever see the 5-day format in the state of Wisconsin. The Wisconsin DNR threw us a curveball and basically said you can't do this and wrote me a bunch of fines. So after I had permission to do it, it was awesome. So anyway, the 5-day format, as great as it was and how much the anglers liked it, fans liked it, it's good to be relevant for a full week at a time was awesome. But we had to pretty much end that season early and then go back to the drawing board, and we gave it a good solid year of basically planning and figuring it out, and a lot has gone on.
Well, I think we had to
internally
catch our
since then,
breath a
too.
little bit.
Right.
Just not head-to-head wise, but we had to catch our breath, like
Just in
fixed
general.
production wise.
Yeah.
Like right between the MPFL stuff and everything else we got going on and revamping this entire platform now with fixed TV and everything. Like we just needed a little time to like catch our breath.
Yep.
Like 2020 to 2022 was insane.
It was.
You know, all the events and the whole thing, getting through COVID, everyone survived that hopefully. And it was crazy.
So we had, what was 2020? We did 13 events.
13
I think we
events
had
in
like,
2020,
it was
yeah.
either 13 or 14 scheduled, and we ended up doing like 12 or whatever the heck it was. It was a lot of events. And then we had
There's a lot.
great year with the PWS in
was a lot.
2021.
Right away, real fast.
Right away. And then 2022 was shaping up to be another phenomenal year for us until, like you said, we had some issues with the DNR, whatever. And now this year, do we want to talk about why we made the change to the single day format and kind of go from there?
Yeah, so the single day thing was, we wanted to go back more grassroots, right? Like back to what 2019
Yep.
was, the original couple events of I don't want to say as stuffy as we've got to. Like, we kind of got forced to be with the PWS and everything that we did. We kind of got away from who we are a little bit. And I think everybody here would agree to that. And the fans would probably agree to that, and the anglers.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of that is just the way the industry is. You know, you kind of get held hostage when you're relying on sponsors, and that's just the way it is. That's the way the world is, the way business is, and the fishing industry is no different. So we wanted to revamp and redo, and we just, started thinking about ways we could run and be viable and make the season more of a marathon than a quick hit over the weekend type thing.
Yep.
And our leagues are huge still. Golf leagues, hockey leagues, old man hockey leagues, like all these leagues, people are used to it. Sporting clays, trap, you name it. People are busy with leagues, so why not bring that to the fishing world? And
that was always kind of what head-to-head was meant to be, was that 1v1 matchups, more of a league that built into a playoffs.
Yep.
Right? And that's what we tried to do with like the PWS that season. And I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
The championship that week was pretty kick-ass, right? And I think this year having the 1v1 matchups every week, the round robins, where we get true wins and losses. Some teams are going to get hot early. Some teams might make a comeback late. And then you're going to really see these teams, and I think we should get into that a little bit too, maybe later, but see these teams as they progress through the season, like how much the fishing is going to change. Begin to watch the same guys. Like, they can't cherry pick.
Right. That's a good point, is you're not seeing cherry pickers. You might see guys that are confident, especially on the bass side, where it's all on one body of water around that system. But in the walleye side, we're back and forth between Winnebago and the Bay. So you have to be confident in both areas and be able to produce in both. So
and that's one thing maybe we didn't even hit on yet, is the fact that we're doing both again for 2024.
Bass and walleye, yeah.
We did, we maybe said we would never go down the walleye route before in the past, and now we're back at it. And you guys are the reason. Like, the fans love the walleye side. It's obviously the most viewed H2Hs. It's some of the greatest thing. And again, like, we're trying to change that industry.
Yeah.
Our goal is to change that. Maybe some people don't think it needs to be changed, but here we feel like there's a lot of change that could happen on the walleye side.
I don't think there's a tournament angler that fishes walleyes that would say behind closed doors that the walleye industry as a tournament industry is healthy.
Well, and there's maybe
they won't say it publicly,
right?
But there's not anybody that does it professionally. I'll say professionally in quotes, because the walleye side, in my opinion, doesn't have a professional trail. Not that we're trying to make this that.
No.
But the walleye industry is in a slippery slope right now.
I was going to say, is it fair to say that door is wide open?
Oh, it's wide open.
It's wide open. And that's one thing. And
and no disrespect to any other tournament trails either, because everybody tries their hardest and does what they think is right. There are great things out there.
Like Brian and you say, if you guys think you can do it better, try it.
Exactly.
Like, we've gotten some scrutiny over the years. We're constantly changing, constantly whatever, but we're doing that for the better of the industry and for the better for the anglers.
Well, and, Kyle and I butt heads on the whole change thing all the time, right? And I'm always like, well, if you're not changing, what was that?
No, we don't.
No, but if you're not changing,
I'll agree with you.
In my mind, if you're not changing, you're dying, right? If what we were doing was so astronomically huge, I wouldn't have tweaked anything. But there was always little pieces that I felt could be better. Maybe I changed them too fast. Maybe we did a couple things a little quicker. And that's where I've learned to listen to Kyle a little bit more on the fishing side of it. But like the tech side, I'm always trying to push the envelope, right? So like on Fixed TV this year, we've got a new feature called the multi-view. You're going to be able to watch every single angle at the exact same time and basically click on whichever one you want, make it full screen. It's a lot like the largest football league in the world does their Sunday purchase thing. I'm purposely not saying what it is. I'm purposely not saying it. But you can literally watch every single boat live all at the same time on the screen, pick and choose which one you want to go full screen, pick and choose which one you want to hear the audio from. It's absolutely awesome. It took us a while to build out that infrastructure. It isn't just magic, right? This is a major undertaking for the fixed production side of this.
Yep.
Head-to-head obviously is going to come along for that ride now. But I think now we have the ability where Fixed TV is 100% free, which is huge.
Look
Everybody
right
hear
there.
that?
Tell everybody.
Free.
Look right there.
100% free.
You don't
Stress
have
that enough.
I mean, now,
go back to Facebook.
no, but
because
here's the thing, like we're on
Facebook's better.
Facebook right now too.
Yep.
On YouTube. We're going to be on those platforms for a little bit of time to try to
Right.
promote fixed TV,
long
right?
as they don't kick us
and
off.
If people, right, well, that's why we had to do fixed TVs. We were like literally in the middle of the PWS championship, and Facebook just said no, and they cut us off because of a pool billiards company in Canada.
Yep.
If you remember that.
I do remember.
Literally just cut us cold right in the middle of the event. Why would I want to put up with that crap?
Right.
So that's what led us to do the fixed TV thing to begin with. Well, obviously, the old system we were on, we didn't have enough of the infrastructure wouldn't allow ads. We didn't have the ability to run ads. Nothing in this world is free. I think everybody understands that. You don't get to watch the Super Bowl. You don't watch anything for free. So we needed the ability to integrate an ad network into our system, which is what we have now. So fixed TV is totally free. It is ad supported. You can pay to remove ads, but you don't have to.
Just like every other platform.
Yep. Like 100% of the functionality of fixed TV is 100% free. The only thing you want to pay for is if you get sick of the ads.
Yep.
The ads are also as minimally intrusive as we can make it. So they're not full screen. They're all picture in picture, right? So it's kind of like they come up next to each other. Most of the ads are muted. You can unmute them, and if you really want to hear it, you can mute it if you don't want to hear it. It's as minimally intrusive as possible, but let's be real, like none of this stuff is cheap. Like we've got to be able to pay for all this, right? Which you don't make any money off Facebook or YouTube. It's not possible.
Right.
So if people really want to see this all stick around, I understand people love Facebook, they like YouTube, whatever. We've got all the apps coming out. We're even going to be on Apple TV now with this new one. So we're going to be on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, all the iOS and Android stuff. It does work on fix.tv or fixtv.com, whichever way you want to go there. It gets there. All of those functions are still available on all of those different platforms. The app should be coming out the end of this month. So by the time we get into head-to-head, we're going to be rocking.
I think Andy just said the apps are live now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah. Not the app.
Live. The app is still running.
Yes.
So if you download, so let's just to clarify that, if you download Fixed TV or you've downloaded Fixed TV in the past, you can still watch all of our stuff we're going to do on the old app. When the new apps come out, it's just going to be an update like you get an update on all of your other apps. There's not going to be a new download. There is a new download, but you don't have to delete the old one, whatever.
Right.
It'll actually just replace the old app to keep it as simple and easy as possible for everybody.
Yep.
But we can't do all of the cool functionality of the multi-views and all the things, the different channels. Like we're going to have, and maybe I shouldn't go on too much of a fixed TV tangent, but we're going to have literally a head-to-head channel, live channel, TV channel on fixed TV. So one of the comments was, when are all the old stuff coming out? All the old head-to-heads. Well, if you go to fixtv.com right now, most of them are out there already.
Yep.
It's all free. But there will also be a 24/7 head-to-head channel that's literally playing replays of head-to-head fishing from 2019. So everyone can see how much weight you and I've gained in the last 3-4 years.
We were in here yesterday.
I'm the same, so that's on you
But
guys.
like, we can go back to the old bass stuff and watch the original and watch the whole thing. And all of those events, some of the events are up there in their entirety, the full 5-hour days. Some of them we did mess around with some condensed versions of it. Not a huge fan of that. So we're actually bringing out all of the old full-length format, full 5 hours. Those are all going to be replayed live on that channel. The cool thing is it's not that anybody's going to sit there and watch head-to-head fishing all day, right? But we're all outdoor junkies. And I know when I'm at home at night working on my computer, I usually turn on one of the outdoor networks and just let it go.
Yep.
Well, now I've got the ability to actually go into Fixed TV, put on the head-to-head TV channel, and literally just pick up wherever it is on whatever day event. I don't have to worry about which event to start. I don't have to really, because I'm not going to really get invested in a full 5 days. I just want to watch some fishing, right?
Right.
Go in there and do it. We also do have the VODs, they call them, the video on demands, where you can go into a specific event, watch it start to finish, and do that on your own pace. So we got the channel, it's just kind of replaying everything all the time. And that's where like stuff like this will be replaying later today. And then tonight when we do the Meet the Anglers, it'll be replaying right away again.
Which is tonight at 5 o'clock, and that's Mitch Dawn and Brandon Ruffalo will be joining us. That's the kickoff for the Meet the Angler side of it all. That's Meet the Team.
So it's gonna be, I don't know.
So
I'm super excited about it, but please, we are monitoring chat over there. If you do go over to Fixed TV, there's a little chat bubble up in the corner. You can click on that. I'm monitoring that as well as Facebook and stuff. It's 100% free. we need to get people migrated over there.
Yep.
The reason we're back on Facebook and YouTube is that's going to be our marketing engine, obviously. We're going to be here every day for all the tournaments, but we probably won't be here the whole days. And I'll guarantee you, we're not going to be on Facebook and YouTube for the finishes of those days.
Right.
We have to, right? And people have to understand that. Like, we have to kind of adapt and migrate and move things over. And I think once people get over there and they see that multi-viewer, that's going to be enough to solidify it, because nobody in the industry in fishing has this technology. Right. Nobody. Like, 0 people, you name the big ones, nobody's got it.
And again, like Kyle, you responded, it is free, everybody. Like, we already got people saying, I'm not paying, I'm
not watching it.
Yeah,
oh, it's free. You don't have to.
It's free with ads.
Andy, is my mic good? I got a message saying it's not.
There's other platforms that are the same way, right? The more you pay, the less ads you have. Ours is free. Watch it free.
100% free. The only thing if you want, you can help us out, subscribe, and get rid of ads. But you don't have to.
You don't have to. Okay.
And some mic issues with Kyle.
Hey.
That's probably why.
Fix real quick. But I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable to ask.
No.
Right? Don't subscribe. I don't care. We're giving you everything for free now.
Right.
It's a different platform, but again, if you're the guy that watches at home, download it on your Roku, download it on your Fire TV. Like, it's gonna blow your mind how awesome it is to watch it on that big screen and not have to worry about like going to your browser on the smart TV and going to fixed TV and whatever, which also works. But I would highly recommend just download the app. It's just a lot easier. And for the guys that complain, I'm not downloading the app. Your phone's got 75 on them right now.
I got it off right now.
Right? Like, your phone has 75 apps. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got 75 apps on your phone right now. If you really support head-to-head, it's not a problem. Right. One more app shouldn't really be a crisis.
Right. So
thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I agree.
I tried to hide on my birthday. I didn't do a good job of that this year.
Well, you decided to go live at 9
This
o'clock.
was all my idea.
Is it better? Is it better? I'm
back.
This was my
I just got
idea.
groped by another male, and it was awesome.
Did you like it?
I might have. It's only weird if you make eye contact.
Okay, so enough about fixed TV.
Yes.
Back about head-to-head. You guys touched on it a little bit. You call it Redneck Professional. I call it online streaming, basically. The format and the concept of the show is going to go back to kind of what made it successful in the first place.
Right.
It's going to be you and I most of the time, commentating, having a lot of fun, obviously watching a lot of fishing together. But the vibe of the show is going to be more about everybody coming together and watching fishing, not a TV broadcast.
Right.
It's going to be, obviously we're commentating because we got a lot of dead air to fill sometimes because fishing's fishing, right? I mean, there's going to be hot periods, there's going to be slow periods, and there's got to be something. If you ever watch a live stream without anybody talking, even though you might not like me or might not like you,
right?
Like, you need somebody there to fill the void to talk about something.
Isn't it crazy how you watch a sporting event and you just have to have the commentators on? No matter if you hate
Boring
those
without
two
it.
guys that everybody knows, Buck and Aikman. Even if you hate them, you still have the volume on.
Well, but see, no, my dad told me a long time ago they tried commentator-free football. My dad and I were talking about that once, and he said the NFL tried it. They tried commentator-free, and it lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
Because it was
not the same.
just doesn't work. None of this stuff works without commentator.
Yeah, you got to have it, otherwise it's just boring.
Yep. All right, so we last let off that we're trying to change the industry in the walleye side, right? We're just going to put it out there. That vibe is out there, but we're also fishing bass side. So we have
for the bass side.
What's that?
I'm very excited for the bass side.
Well, on the walleye side, let's not shy away from what happened last year. Right?
There's a lot of controversy in the walleye world.
And there is zero way to cheat here.
Yeah.
It's zero.
Totally transparent.
100% live. Your camera's live all day. Everybody can watch everybody all day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, go watch his camera all day long. You can see it all day long.
Yeah. Hey,
Now, so I think that let's get into the rule changes a little bit.
Okay.
Because we don't have a lot of rule changes.
There's not a lot.
But we did ease up on some stuff to simplify it.
right. Now,
again,
one
it's
thing
about
is,
fishing.
It's not 5 hours anymore. It's a 4-hour day.
4-hour match, yep.
Both events, we're fishing AM, PMs, and they're both 4 hours only.
And we did that for viewership.
Correct.
Because not only are we talking for 10 hours a day as it is, right? But who's got 5 hours a day to sit around and watch fishing? Like, life is life, right? You got to
People
cut the
check
grass,
in and
kids
out,
got
right?
stuff going on, you're at work, whatever. that 4-hour day allows us to fit those AM and PM matches in, which I think is going to be awesome because we're going to be live literally from 7 in the morning till 5, 6 at night.
Well, the season in Wisconsin is only so long.
Right.
So there's only so many Wednesdays, throughout the year that we can do this. So with holidays and other commitments and stuff, so doing 2 a day, I feel is the right answer.
Yeah, it simplifies things. And if we're going back to grassroots, that's what 2019 was all about.
Yep.
Brian and I here, for a long time, not driving home, crashing. We crashed together in his camper out in
Like I said,
the parking lot.
Don't make eye contact.
But that's what 2019 was all about. And it and it allows us to fish one day. And that's what I think our anglers appreciate that too. Like, it just simplifies life for everybody.
Right. And taking, if guys do have to work, the AM, PMs, the anglers know their match times already. So they can work around it. If they fish the AM, they can be to work by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If take a half day vacation or whatever works for them, it gives them that option. So that's a big deal. Rules wise, we did back off on some penalties. There is still a couple penalties. There's still going to be a couple that the anglers are going to manage themselves, and one of them is, and I feel should always be there, is the fish release. Conservation, making sure the fish are healthy. Doesn't matter if it's a farm animal or if it's a 6 or 7 pound walleye or bass or whatever. We got to be conscious, and you got eyeballs on, you got people watching. Yep. So you're judged by what people see. So
and what do you mean by that is we're below the gunnel?
Below the gunnel, yep. So you got to release all fish below the gunnel, or there will be a 2-minute penalty. The only other penalty that we have is not putting registering your catch into the Waylive app.
Yeah.
So
you just have to.
Otherwise, we call it the Blosser rule. Bob was really good at playing within the gray area of the rules, which is completely legal. And he found that gray area and he utilized it. So now we fixed it, right? Like it is what it is. There's all kinds of rules that come out about people. Look at football, Tom Brady and Tuck rule and everything else. So it's them are the two penalties.
It's really like a golfer in a scorecard, right? Like it's how we play the game. You don't play a basketball game with the scoreboard covered up. So you don't know what the score is. I mean, it's in the spirit of a head-to-head matchup is really why we made that change. It's because we want the other team to know what the score is.
Right.
We want them to be able to make an adjustment on the fly and say, we got to do something different here. We're 5 pounds behind with 20 minutes to go. Like something's got to give. Like we want that, I don't want to say drama, but we want the teams to be able to make decisions based off of that, not based off of somebody not filling it in.
Well, and you talk about like how we simplified some of the things. Like I would go back to Monday here at Fix, and the heated conversation that Brian and one of our new hosts of our show, the sports coach, which will be coming soon.
It's actually on the list. You can see it.
I mean, think of how that over a rule change in that big platform. That was a heated discussion. I mean, but it was a needed heated discussion.
Next time something like that happens, because it's going to happen again.
Oh, get with Craig and I?
I will be live as fast as I can get a camera on my shoulder.
Just join the sports coach 11 to 1 every Monday through Friday.
You're gonna see it.
Thing. But again, that's like people say that now with football. There's too many rules. Well, again, like we heard that with head-to-head, so we're like, fine, we'll simplify things.
Yep.
Let's just make it easier for everyone.
Honestly,
it's a lot easier for the anglers as well.
Well, anybody who's watched head-to-head from the beginning knows we had some controversies about fish catches and certain things. So we want to let's go fishing. Let's clean it up.
Yep.
Let's,
Well, and to go, what he's talking about is in the mouth, right? Like, I'm going to shy around it. The end-of-mouth thing was controversy from day one, and that's why we put it on the angler. If the angler decides to weigh that fish, he's weighing that fish. It's up to him making the decision to potentially be disqualified by me. If I see it, you guys are eyes on it as well as I am. If we see it and we look at the video and it's deemed to be not a legal catch in the mouth, then we will disqualify it.
The reason we had to go to the angler doing it is everybody thinks we've got video, and we do. We do have video. We have one video.
We got one angle. Yeah.
Look at this is what the hit. This is what we got all heated in the office about was that hit on Justin Fields over the weekend. Yep. Right. And from the side angle, looked terrible. Craig and I were literally Craig Bergner's literally he's the new host of the sports coach Monday through Friday. 11 to 1. then him and I were getting into it. I'm a football coach. Anybody that follows Fix, follows us, the Dude Factor, whatever, I'm a football coach. Him and I were into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we were into it. Well, until I found another angle from the back view, from the end zone, that literally showed that Owens and they were both going at the exact same time. He's like, okay.
Yep.
But we don't have that second angle.
Right.
The NFL, just for production purposes, they've got 105 or 110 cameras pointed at the field at all times.
Yeah.
At all times.
I'm glad we don't, because that's a lot to manage.
Well, no, I agree. But what I'm saying is like, people need to be realistic about instant replay for us. We have one camera angle, and that camera may or may not be working. It could be a battery swap.
Right.
It could be a number of different situations. We have one.
You can't rely on it,
When
that's
it's
for
not,
sure.
its angles are huge, right? What looks like this from this angle might look different from the other side angle or whatever. It's just you can't rely on it.
I have my TRS Live partner just showed up, so I'm gonna run out for a couple minutes, get her all set up, and then I'll be right back.
Shut your mic off.
Okay.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
We do.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Like
While Matt's
programming.
gone, we're going to talk about a subject.
Yeah, with the programming around Fixed TV and what we're trying to bring everybody value on top of head-to-head
Yep.
is bigger than head-to-head. And obviously the head-to-head people probably don't care, but I care because it's,
we live
it's
it
your
every
time,
day.
it's my time,
We live
it's
it
his
every day.
time, it's, there's a lot going on.
So there's one big change to the walleye side. Well, one big one and another, I'll call it a minor change. The minor one is we went to 1 pound minimum. Within the tiebreakers, there's not going to be a dink fest anymore. We did away with dink fest. Every fish they catch of target species will count, and that's going to be part of their tiebreakers. So the other one is, while Matt's not here, because Matt's going to probably lose his mind over multiple times this year, is we are allowing live bait in the walleye side, not in the bass side, walleye only. We are allowing live bait. We have
And that was a poll.
buried our horns in the dirt pretty hard in the past on no live bait, and the reasoning was nobody makes any money selling live bait. That was the big factor. We put a poll out there, and it was unanimous.
It was like 80-20, if I remember. It was something high. It was like 80-20.
And there was over 400 votes on it, so it's not like it was 20 people that made this decision. And ultimately, it came down to you and I talking about it and not listening to Matt, because his stance is really hard of stay firm to the beginning and no live bait. In the end, the reason we did it is the fans want to watch fish being caught.
100%.
And I feel like that event that Gofran won on Bago, when he was fishing them out the river throwing plastics, I really feel like that would have been a better event with live bait. And he felt the same way. He said multiple times, man, I wish I could use a live crawler right now, because the fish were there. He could see them. He's using electronics. He knew the fish were there.
We will also shed light on how many sheephead are in Lake Winnebago.
Oh, yes. Yep. And it will also shed light on, at times, how much better artificials can be in live bait.
Actually, now that you bring that up, it actually might help us prove our point.
It may. And
If we should probably track that, like the number of, we can't really track the number of fish caught. I mean, we could. But tournament wins based on live bait versus artificials, that kind of thing would be kind of interesting.
we absolutely could.
I'm guessing it'll prove our point that you don't need the live bait. Like, you might catch more fish on live bait, but I bet you catch bigger fish on artificials.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
But we'll see. We'll see.
The sheephead population is definitely going to get shown out.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Maybe we'll end up
there's
getting
Andy.
that trawler eventually.
Put a mic on, Andy. Get in here.
Maybe.
Maybe just get one. We're trying to get producer Andy.
Bashful.
He blushes easy. But yeah, so that's the major change for the walleye side. Bass side will be 2 pound minimum. Will be artificial only. Every other rule in the rule book goes both ways. The bass rules and the walleye rules are 100% the same, minus the live bait in the 1 pound difference. That's the only difference.
And then we've already covered 4 hours, which I think is important. And you got to remember, for people that don't tournament fish, it's lines in, the lines out. It's not travel time. It's lines in, the lines out. We get them on the water way early enough. They're literally where they want to be.
They're going to get a half hour this year.
And there's been a lot of tournaments that you've fished. I bet you've fished for probably less than 4 hours, actually fishing time.
Yeah.
Due to long runs, due to all that kind of stuff. So
it's stressful.
I think it's going to be good viewership wise, that shrinking that down a little bit, that extra hour.
the stress that it causes for the anglers is you guys will be able to see, on their faces for sure. 4 hours sounds like a long time when you think about fishing for 4 hours. Some people are like, wow, that's about all I ever go. For most tournament anglers, you're fishing 8 to 10.
9.
Most tournaments are 8 hours. Some are up to 10, 1 or 2 days. It's grueling to cut that in half and have to make them decisions. And that's another reason why we went to teams too. So you have two minds to make a decision to make a better product for the fans.
Might get a little in boat fire ups too, because I guarantee I guarantee it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I guarantee it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's going to happen for sure.
That's the other thing with head-to-head, that everybody, at least, and maybe I've done a really poor job of explaining it to people over the last few years, but it's never really been a fishing tournament in my head. It's always been this competitive league. It's always been really more of a TV show than a fishing tournament.
You're going to see that this year, I feel.
And I feel like I've said that a lot, but maybe I just haven't said it enough. Maybe I haven't said it in the right way, or enough in the right way, or whatever.
Well, people look at fishing tournaments, they look at it as a tournament. This guy against that guy. It is a tournament, round robin style, right? But you're going to see the reality side of this come out with
100%.
There's going to be heroes and there's going to be villains.
Well, and what you're going to see this year is, and you can contest this personally, your difference in your first time on camera versus your 8th time on camera. Light years different.
Way different.
Because
there's one angler that's been, I don't want to say talking a lot of smack, but he's been talking some smack, which I love that.
Yep.
I love that side of fishing. That's one of the reasons why I do it, is the AM meetings, or getting around with your buddies and busting balls, right? There's one guy that's been talking a lot, and I don't know that he's ever been on a camera fishing before, and I would put money on it. He's going to clam up like a mouse the first day and be... Am I live?
Well, so Ted Miller, who's fishing, correct? He said it's a tournament 100%. I agree. It is a fishing tournament from the angler side of it.
Yep.
From the camera side of it, from the viewer side of it, it's going to be more of a reality show, because what I was trying to get at is these anglers now, so 2020, we had a different group of anglers every event.
Yep.
Or now we've got the same 10 teams for the whole season, right? How long is the walleye season?
11 weeks total.
11 weeks total,
10 weeks total,
including the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to get to see the maturation and the highs and lows of these guys, because you can't hide it.
No,
you can hide like a 1, 2, 3 day event. As from a viewer standpoint, you can be whoever you want to be from an angler standpoint, right?
Yep.
There's going to be situations where the angler who tries to have a persona isn't going to be able to keep that up for 10 weeks. You're going to, at the end of this, whoever wins this is going to have a ton of camera time, right? He's going to have, that group is going to have, I shouldn't say he, because there's a lady, right? In the walleye side? Yep.
Nikki.
So one of the teams is going to have more camera time than anybody else in the country from a walleye fishing standpoint.
Yeah.
Not even close, including some of the TV shows.
Look at this guy coming in.
Coming in?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk
I don't know
about
how loud I am because I can't monitor it, but we'll find out.
Okay, well, we'll talk about production in a second. But by the time that's over, you're going to really know who these people are. Like, you're going to have a really good idea of who these people are, what makes them tick, the highs and the lows. There's going to be days where one of the guys is going to dump one at the net, and they're gonna hold it together. Like, I'm going to go to net your fish, and I'm going to stab it in the face, and you're going to look at me really cross-eyed day one.
Oh, yeah.
By week 4, there's no more cross-eyed looks. You're letting me have it, right? Because that's how it works in a team environment. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's like I said. You're going to see heroes. You're going to see victims. You're going to see people button heads. You're going to see teams button heads, because some of the teams on the walleye side have been teammates in the past. Ted Miller and Jeff Nectarline are not fishing together. Not saying that they're not friends, but when they go head to head that day, there's going to be a lot on the line as far as personal pride.
And on top of that, like, let's take Jeff, for instance, right? He's won 2 head-to-heads on the Fox River.
Yeah.
We're starting on the Fox River. He's going to come out thinking that and he might win another one on the Fox River.
What does he have on the Fox?
He might be the greatest Fox River angler of all time. I don't know. But what's he going to do in Lake Winnebago in June? Right? Like, how is he going to adapt as the season goes on? And I think that's what's going to make these 9 a.m. podcasts on Thursdays, once the season gets up and rolling and we can get into highlights, start breaking down all of the situations and all that kind of stuff, and see how these anglers are kind of building throughout the year or unraveling throughout the year.
So you brought it up as far as the amount of time on camera. To put it in perspective for the walleye side,
Yep.
this goes back to what I said, where the walleye side of things is on a slippery slope. Every person that fishes this walleye side is going to have more live coverage this year than anybody in the history of walleye fishing live,
Oh yeah, 100%.
including probably the PWS, because it was, well, maybe Max, Isaac, Marianne, possibly.
Because you're
but-
guaranteed camera time.
and they were 5 days, right? They were 5-day events. So outside of the PWS, every one of these guys
in
is gonna have-
2024 for sure.
correct, for this year, because there isn't any. So the opportunity these anglers have to have an impact on the walleye industry is massive.
I agree.
And I really hope they take it seriously, because I am. I'll be honest. Like, I've talked to every one of them. Like, this is a serious thing for head-to-head. This is a serious thing for fixed productions.
I mean, just fishing.
Just fishing in general. They have the opportunity. I wish Matt was in here. I was going to wait for Matt to get back, but it was there and I didn't want to lose it because my little pea brain doesn't work that way. But the opportunity that the anglers have is massive in the walleye side. The bass side is still awesome, still the same opportunities.
But the
in
impact's
bass
gonna be
fishing,
smaller.
there is a lot of live fishing. There's a lot more opportunity for anglers to get coverage, to be noticed in the industry than there is in the walleye side. So
I would agree.
again, not a bash on any other walleye league, but the only ones doing live has always been us in the walleye industry.
Yep.
Nobody else has done it, or is doing it. So
Speaking of doing live, since Andy's sitting here,
the man, the myth.
everybody, this is Andy. Andy is the producer.
It's a great sweatshirt, by the way.
Is that the right title? Producer for basically all of the fixed productions and
Technical director, I don't know. A little bit of everything.
guy behind all of this techie stuff. He gets to try to keep up with me. But he's the guy that on show days is pushing all the buttons, making sure the cameras are working, making sure the multi-view is working. Like he's been on our messaging system with our new platform people about some tweaks all morning, right? So what, like from your vantage point now, you've been with Head to Head were you here in 22?
Yeah.
Okay. You were here for 22 and then you've done the last 2 years the MPFL, right? Or just the last year for the MPFL?
I started in the
He's been here for
May of 2021.
Oh, Jesus.
So-
Holy cow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's time flying.
You're way behind, Brian.
You've learned a lot about fishing in the last couple of years because you're not a fisherman, right? You're a gamer.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've learned a lot about fishing. What are you excited about bringing to the head-to-head show? And this is 100% uncanned. He wasn't even supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
This wasn't planned at all.
What are you like? Because I've never asked anybody that question because I've always been either I was the producer or I've been talking, right? So like, what do you think will be cool, or like, what are you excited about for 24?
I mean, you kind of hit on it already. It's more general. There's not like specifics.
Oh, you got to finish now.
Hey,
You can
keep
still
going.
come in. There's another
Mac
chair.
Mac can
Actually,
wait.
right there is a chair. You got
Hang on,
your,
Mac.
do you got your mic on?
I'll slide over. Nobody wants to see me anymore.
What's up, Dylan? Again, so my big excitement is the new platform, obviously. We have tons of new engagement features. So everyone who heads over to Fix TV, they'll be able to interact with polls, do games. Eventually, I'm sure we're going to do some giveaways with those games and everything as well. Lots of chat engagement. And then the biggest thing that I'm most excited about, which Brian hit on, is that multi-view experience. The way that we're going to bring that to the table this year with all the shows we have going on, plus the live programming 24/7, it's just going to be awesome. It's a lot on the back end to bring that together and for us to provide that for you guys, which is why it's more important that you do go to Fix, get off Facebook. But it's going to be really cool. Like what we're doing is just, it's crazy to think that we're doing that, and with the staff that we're doing it with.
Well, and the other thing too is the Fix TV. I just noticed it right now is Facebook will have this Fix TV banner on it all year.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Where you go to the free Fix TV, it's full screen. You don't have that annoying Fix TV thing. You just got to help us out a little bit. I mean, it's going to be here. You're going to be able to watch it for the most part. Somebody was asking before about that we're going to be on Facebook for all the days, and we will.
Yes.
But we don't know exactly when we're going to kick it over to fixed TV only. But I will guarantee the last hour will always be on fixed TV only. I mean, that's just like. I think the NFL again is going to force this, right? They got playoff games this year only on Peacock. Like they're really going to start forcing this.
It's going to be the normal.
Because they don't have to pay network, they don't have to pay DirecTV to air their stuff anymore.
Right.
Or
they don't got to share their cuts.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have to save a percentage of their cut to go to some TV cable provider anymore. People might as well just get used to it. It's just going to happen, and they're going to keep shoving it down your throats.
Yep. Yeah.
So we're not really asking you. We're just a little bit ahead of the curve. And I think in the fishing industry, we're way ahead of the curve, like way, way ahead of the curve, which is why we're getting some resistance. But that's okay. I like that. That doesn't bother me. I like the headwinds. The headwinds keep you pushing stronger, right? Like if everything was a tailwind all the time, I think it's easy.
Yes.
I like going into the headwinds. Maybe I'm weird, but I like the headwinds.
It's easier to control your boat.
It is. It's totally true. You never fish going downwind. Maybe that's why.
So in
Only the
regards
trawlers,
to
that's
head-to-head specifically, like there's a comment here on Facebook. It's great to see this going back to the grassroots. What you did for the little guy trying to make it in the fishing industry in 2020 was nothing short of incredible. That's what I've always really liked about head-to-head. Like it's really personal, and you're really getting to know the angler, and like there's a story there to follow. And that's always really intrigued me. And I don't fish, as they said. But because of all of this, I have become a kayak fisherman. So, if anyone's got good kayak
Is that
tips.
even fishing?
We have a kayak league coming to head-to-head
We do.
to fix.
They all know I pick on them. So
Okay, fair enough.
sorry, Kyle.
I was like, let's not throw them under the bus right now, please.
Not the head-to-head, to fixed TV.
To fix TV, not head-to-head. There's a kayak league out there that's coming to fix TV.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Which is awesome. And anybody else out there that runs leagues or runs tournaments or does any kind of live streaming, we're your home if you want to have a place to host it.
tonight at 5:00 is our first Meet the Team, Meet the Anglers.
Yep.
Let's go through the bass teams. Let's just kind of read it. Let's go through the bass teams. Let's talk about those a little bit. And then let's go through the walleye teams. The only reason I'm doing walleye seconds because our Meet the Angler tonight is a walleye.
Is a walleye.
Is a walleye
Hey,
group.
well, Kyle, while you're looking at this, I want to hit on something that you were talking about, Droid, is the fact is like, I toot our own horn a little bit on making names out of people who maybe didn't have the name that now they do.
They do now.
I look at some of the anglers that have fished our series in the past, and they had great names going into an H2H event, but I think that the fact that they were live at the time, it was 5 days in a row, if they made it that far before we went to lose and go home or whatever it was. But, I'm going to throw out there, Mitch Van Aert, one of the best bass anglers that we've had fish head-to-head.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason, and I had to talk about one of our anglers that's fishing this year in 2024. I'm like, there's a reason why Mitch is great for the bass industry. Is the guy can catch fish, flat out. But you put that aside,
great
Mitch
on
is
camera.
phenomenal on camera.
And the people need to realize that you make it in fishing when you can sell stuff.
Yes.
And you can't sell stuff by not talking. Like
Right.
you have to be able to talk and, you know what I mean, and sell. And Mitch is awesome at that, which is why he's kind of moving up the ranks, is because you can show people now. You go to a sponsor, you've done the sponsor route. You can go to a sponsor and be like, here's my body of work.
Yeah.
Show me another bass angler who has this.
And I
Other than a few,
Yep. Steve
this is
Lopez
what
is
question-
another one of them guys.
Yeah. Yes.
He's fishing for a living. He quit his job and 100% fishing for a living. And he says publicly that between head-to-head and Wisco, that's what gave him the confidence to do it.
And I bet you if we asked Mitch, he would say that
the same thing.
his career really kind of grown. Because, I mean, what is this now? Is this his like fourth or fifth like head-to-head events? He started in 2019 with us in the second round, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And then he fished 2020 multiple times. He fished in 2022 with us. I mean, and we all know that again. And so like, the reason I bring Van Aert up is to the walleye side, which we're going to get to as we progress through the Meet the Anglers type talk today, is that opportunity for you is there. Be that person for that side of the industry. And like, We're not dropping anything. Nectar Line's back this year.
Yeah, we talked about it while you were
Yeah,
gone.
Nectar Line, a phenomenal walleye angler.
We covered the live bait stuff, so you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
But I'm not,
Your face didn't have to turn red.
You bastards.
That's why we did it while you're not
you're
here.
trying to wait till you were back. You can say that live. You can watch us on the rebroadcast when we're done here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because I'm curious. But like Nectar Line, another one. He's a great angler, catches a ton of fish, and is great on camera. People like Jeff.
Yep.
But through our series this year, as we get into it, there's a lot of potential for those guys to just clobber that industry and make it their own and set the trend going forth.
Absolutely.
You guys,
What are you worried about?
Time clock.
Oh, we're good.
We
good?
have until 10 o'clock.
Till 10. Holy crap.
Just go cheap.
We better
Yeah, I
talk
mean, I could
fast.
go at it if it takes longer.
It's
not
going
a big deal.
to take longer than 12 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna need more than 12 minutes.
I'll just go do that right now
12 minutes.
quick.
Okay.
What do you want me to put it to?
10:30.
should we fire drill real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fire drill.
I'm not getting up. I'm going to roll.
Professional we are.
Yeah, this is all good, man.
I don't know which way I should go.
I mean, I'm getting
Not in front of the camera.
messages from people. So we're gonna keep going through the anglers, but before we get into the anglers, because you haven't read any else yet, right?
No.
What was our process on selecting these guys? Because it was open for a total of what?
Well, the walleye side was a little up and down because some guys committed and then,
Yep.
life happens and they couldn't. No more than 2 weeks. I mean, the first
Right.
day we put it out there, the bass side was full. It was crazy the amount of people that showed interest. I feel we could probably fill another bass side,
Yeah, I would agree.
walleye side after event one. I mean, we have people calling from, we were on Detroit, in Detroit on
2020.
Detroit River in 2021 with the PWS.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some of the guys that were marshals for us over there that want to do this on the Detroit River next spring.
Well,
So,
and again, if anybody knows me, I won't stop. I want to keep growing this thing. I would love to have branches all over the place and a whole big play-in
By
system.
that you mean United States?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Not
No,
just
putting
River
like
walleye in
walleye.
Canada, eh?
Hey.
Like walleye fishing realistically, right? It's the Dakotas, New York,
Yep.
upper Midwest, whatever. I would love to do that. I'd love to have a league over the Detroit River and all this kind of stuff. But in order for that to happen, the fixed TV thing's really going to have to take off. It just is. It's just like we can do Winnebago and Green Bay because it's in our backyard. We live here. We don't have to travel anywhere. Costs are lower, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
If people want to say, well, why are you only fishing the same two places? We tried to fish all over the state, and these are the only two places anybody will sign up for. It's just a fact.
And to be honest, it's easier for us to run them right
It
here.
is, but I'm just saying, like, we tried running tournaments all over the place, and it was always a struggle to get boats to fish all these other random places because the viewers want to watch fishing all these random places. The anglers necessarily don't want to go to these other places. We open an event up on Winnebago or in a bay, it's full instantly.
Cool. Yep.
And if you look at, that's not just a head-to-head thing. That's a tournament
that's everything.
thing.
Yep.
You guys think some of that reason the anglers don't want to fish a lot of different bodies is because they also think there's still secrets out there?
Maybe.
Some.
I think honestly more of it is the fear of striking out.
Right.
The
so to
fear of being exposed.
A little bit.
For them to be exposed or that body of water be
No,
exposed?
that and them. Like
Yes.
body
Yes.
of water is a big thing.
Yeah.
Body of water is a
I
big thing.
honestly think like that was one of the reasons we struggled because I remember we threw a lake out there for walleye fishing and we got scrutinized for that because it's still a secret on the
Right.
walleye side. But
Well, and somebody just
Big
mentioned
green's not a
that.
secret for walleye.
No, but somebody just mentioned. Yeah, but somebody just mentioned that lake.
Go throw a jerkbait or an Alabama rig anywhere and you're going to catch walleyes.
Well, could we branch out? Sure.
Not a secret.
But
that was the one.
I know.
for us to relaunch this, Winnebago and the Bay was just a no-brainer. It fills instantly. Everybody wants to fish there.
It's the easy button.
It is, and it's easy for us from a production standpoint. So could we grow it? Sure.
Just our camera guys, right? Just strict cost, just straight up cost of running it. Everybody's local, everybody's right here. So it makes the most sense.
Right.
Well, and I see like somebody said Petenwell. Well, if I think back to the original 2020 before COVID hit, Petenwell was on the
It's
list.
on the list, yep.
A lot of those lakes were on the list that,
There's so many lakes that could handle a head-to-head event, especially a league like this where it's 1 day a week. There's probably thousands of them in the state.
Yeah.
100%.
That can handle it. Yep.
So we could do that, but a lot of it's going to be fixed TV numbers again. It's just going to be, can I come back in 3-6 months and show our growth on the platform? Because that's what's going to keep all of this rolling is that. It's just fact.
Another thing I wanted to mention before we get into the anglers is we're in the process of redoing the head-to-head website.
Yep.
And
It's looking awesome.
I've seen previews of it. It's pretty awesome. We're going to be tracking a lot of stuff. So on the website, and I'm sure we'll do social posts with it all, we're tracking obviously wins, losses, because that's how you get into the playoffs.
Yep.
Your total weight for the year, cumulative.
Now these are playoff determining.
These are all the
tiebreakers.
playoff tiebreakers.
These are like, because we're only taking 8 out of the 10 to the playoffs, correct?
Because there's going to be a lot of ties this year.
I think so, too.
There'll be ties. There'll be ties at 0-0.
Could be.
With scoreable fish, so tiebreakers are going to matter. Total targeted species caught. So counting dinks, like I mentioned earlier, Dinkfest is gone.
Yep.
Now we're counting dinks. Biggest targeted species for the year, because that matters for a tiebreaker.
Yep.
And then weight of the first targeted species. So your first fish caught
Is that every
of the year,
event?
of
Or-
the year,
Of the year.
your first fish you caught, what that weighs
Think about that, dude. That's a big
for the whole
one.
season. So that's
But
the
that's
fi-
like
that's
tiebreaker 4.
tiebreaker 4.
Like we're way
Well,
on the list
Right.
before, but still.
technically it's 6 because you got wins, losses, total weight, all them.
Everybody wants to be the first one to land that scoreable fish, but now that really matters when you land that scoreable fish.
Yep, and the weight of it.
Right.
It matters. Every fish they catch, targeted species, is going to matter this year. At some point,
It will come back to haunt you later in the year if you're not.
if you
competitive.
lose a fish at the net, you should be mad because
Yeah.
it's going to matter.
It's going to matter because
is
you're right. There's going to be a
going
lot of
to
ties
matter.
over the course of this whole season,
Yes.
which is why we spent another 7 million hours trying to figure out. Well, because like match tiebreakers are one thing, and now we're trying to figure out like 10-week long season tiebreakers and how like the Bay of Green Bay doesn't outweigh the Winnebago, because obviously the fish are
Right.
not going to be the same, right? So it can't be like event totals, because you're going to win a match with 12, 13 pounds of Winnebago, and that won't get you anywhere on the Bay, right? So all of that had to kind of come into play with how we built this whole thing out, and hopefully we thought it through.
Did we?
We tried.
Did we discuss schedule already?
No,
No.
they're not.
So we'll
No.
do that after the angler.
Yeah, we'll go through the anglers. We'll start with the walleye side.
Bass side. Start with the bass side.
Bass side? Start with the bass side. You said walleye before.
No, I said let's finish with walleye because
Okay, I
we got
wasn't
walleye
listening.
tonight.
I
We're
wasn't
trying-
listening because he was talking.
We're trying to flow into. You can't pencil erase.
Where's the damn tape? Here we go. Let's
Oh, here we go.
You can't pencil erase my voice, Kyle. Damn it.
trust us. We've tried.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The inside joke around here is I write everything in pencil
Yeah.
because it's going to change. Anyway,
And he's not wrong.
we'll get into teams. So these are the 1 through 10 means nothing except for for the fans. In this order means nothing
Not
for you guys.
placement.
We numbered them, so we had a way to set
Put
the
them in the
matches.
randomizer to
set
build
the
their
matches.
schedule.
Right.
So the first team is Tyson Hansen, the Bachelor.
Bachelor's
I
back.
think he's the Bachelor again.
Oh,
Rumor
you're
has it.
dropping bombs?
Rumor has it he might be a Bachelor.
Really? Again?
And then his. That's all I'm going to say.
You guys.
And then his partner you just talked about
Mitch Van Aert.
with high level is
Okay,
Mitch Van Aert.
Time out on them. We were talking about things we like the old days, right?
Yeah.
No, how much more fun was it than pulling up
Oh my God.
Tyson's-
I shared that clip.
Tyson's Tinder account
When
live?
Matt brought that up, I'm like, ooh, he's pretty serious in a relationship.
Oh,
We better not do that.
That
So
clip
I called Tyson. I said,
Go to bed.
you good with this? He's like, oh yeah, put it out there. That was awesome. So next
I'm to blame. Sorry, Tyson.
next team is somebody that won the first ever head-to-head event is Meng Lee. And
The godfather of head-to-head.
I feel this is the coolest team because he's fishing with his son.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's badass that he's fishing with his son.
And he was literally, wasn't he one of the first ones? He was like instantly, yeah, I'm in. Like,
He
let's
didn't
do
even
this.
know how much the entry fees was, and he was in. So it's
we need
Meng and Chi.
So, but I think that goes back to the previous comment about the grassroots piece.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
if you remember 2019,
There's a lot of grassroots on this list.
No, but
Kyle remembers 2019.
No, but
Yeah, I
he
got my ass kicked by Colin.
no, but he doesn't remember this part. We were sitting in that studio up front, and there was literally like 30 people watching. We have more people watching this on now
Right.
than that first day.
Thank you, everybody.
there might have been maybe, I don't even know if there was 30. It might have been 15.
It was.
And I was geeking out.
Oh yeah, we were stoked.
Well, it's a new thing. Like, I had no idea how to stream. Like, this was all this was a pipe dream, right?
I'm glad my camera didn't work.
Well, but anyway, there was one guy that day. Remember, it was that Sunday night. Mangley and Colin were fishing for the championship in a foggy, rainy, windy, just complete shit.
Yep.
Total shit weather. And that one guy reached out to us on Facebook and said, "Hey, would you mind if I met them at the boat landing
At Fox Lake.
and just shook their hand? I just want to meet them." I'm like,
Brought him sandwiches and energy drink.
yep.
Yeah.
And that was in between matches, I think. That was before
I think that was the end of the day.
Was it at the end of
I
it?
think it was the end of the day.
Anyway, I looked at Matt at that time and I said, we have something here. I said, for this to motivate somebody to want to go meet these guys, goes back to that grassroots thing, that you could literally go like, this is just a dude like me out there busting ass. This isn't Kevin Van Dam or some pro guy. This is just another guy out there trying to compete, and you feel the vibe, you feel that vibe and that struggle because it's hard for us to relate to the KVD types. Right? Like, as a football coach, it's hard for me to relate to Bill Belichick. Like, they're on a whole nother planet.
Sleeves off, you'll be fine.
Right. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what it's like to be a Skeet Reese or like those guys are just kind of like different, right? Or an Ike and Ellie or whatever.
Someplace.
Right. But when Mangley's out there kicking ass, you can feel that vibe. It's a totally different vibe.
I think Meng's probably the only person that's ever truly caught a rock on live camera.
First fish 2019. The first official hook set of 2019 was Mangley hook setting into a rock.
Sorry, Meng. Maybe we'll show that clip.
No, but he was.
We did. We showed it on the Dude Fact.
It had him too.
Like I was super happy when he signed up. That's awesome. Like, he was always such a great guy. He's in here doing the interview. Like, that was awesome.
Studio.
We don't have to talk about Meng for another 3 hours, but
I can tell you, Meng has taken a lot of my money on the Winnebago system. That dude's going to be hard to beat, and his kid's just as good as he is.
Really, no way.
You
probably learn, right? I mean,
that team's going to be. That's going to be a match every week. If you draw number 2, you're gonna have a match on your hands.
If the kid isn't better than the dad didn't do a good job at teaching.
He's a great kayak
That makes
fisherman
sense.
too.
Well, yeah,
Like, the kid should be able to beat the dad. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Because the kid starts with 20, 30 years of knowledge that the dad had to learn, right? Like, it should be that way. Look at Tiger's kid, for Christ's sake.
What was? Hopefully they can help me out. What was we had a saying. They were Meng was telling us the saying for, like, what was it?
For fish on.
My year. I apologize if I said it wrong.
Jordan Yang, if you're on, tell us on Facebook.
You were close. It was something like that.
It was
Maji something.
Yeah, it was so awesome. Like,
show up in the chat.
Yeah, show up.
Jordan will remember.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
That was awesome.
And the only other thing before we move on to the heartbreak that Mangley had when he lost that 3-4 pounder on that crankbait, because he made a slight mistake.
Yep.
He will fish. If you don't fish, well, I mean, hypothetically, it's an 8-hour event.
Right.
IJ a year. Yep, that's it right there. You know, he grabbed the line on that fish and he lost that fish both sides.
And as soon as he did it, he's like, "Why did I do that? Why did I do that?"
No, when you do stupid stuff like that, you just want to beat
But
yourself.
again, that's where, like,
Maji a year, yeah.
I'm not knocking any of these guys, but I think that's that raw feel from the grassroots part, because your pro guys either don't do it or it just doesn't get caught on camera or they don't show it or whatever.
Right.
But you're at that level, you don't show that.
They're numb to it too.
Right.
You know, Kevin Van Dam's somewhat numb to losing a fish because he knows it's going to happen.
What did that mean now? I can't remember.
I thought it was fish
I
on.
believe it was fish on.
Is it? They'll let us know.
That was awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely
So
going back to that.
next team.
I'm glad you brought. I totally forgot about that.
That was
That's awesome.
phenomenal, dude.
Next team is Brian Eisch and ? I know he had a teammate lined up and job stopped him from being able to fish on Wednesdays. So if you're looking to fish, Brian Eisch might be looking. I don't know if he found a partner or he didn't, but flood his social media. See if you can.
And
get
Dylan
him on.
asked, when is his partner going to be announced? And it's still open.
Yeah, it's still
Otherwise,
open.
He's going to fish on his own.
Otherwise, yeah, he said he'll fish alone.
He also fished an event
He
in
did.
2020.
He did, yep. So Brian's going to be awesome. He loves the system. He's excited to be back. He's always been.
Yeah, it means fish on, just for the record.
What did his sweatshirt, Brian's sweatshirt, ask me about my leg for a donation or something
Yeah,
like that?
he's got all kinds of different ones. I'm stumped. The next team is Tony Malika, which was another 2019 angler.
Yep.
And Jeff Gagnow. Both guys know the Winnebago system really well. I'm not going to Babe Ruth it right now, but they probably are not going to lose the first event on Little Lake Butamore.
Wow.
Tony's really good on Little Lake Butamore.
Are we going to do that this year? Are we going to try to get like fantasy involved in it? With the
We've
sports
talked about
coach?
it.
Is that a way we could do
We've
that?
talked about it. Craig and I have talked about it a lot. Just haven't figured. The problem isn't the fantasy concept. It's the system to build it. Like
Okay.
the actual online, like people will be able to do it. Like,
Well, we could have them fill out sheets and
yeah,
hand
we
in
could do
sheets
that.
and
But I
email
mean, like,
sheets,
I don't know.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll circle
TBD. Next team, more anglers.
Tony says, laugh out loud. I think he really appreciates you.
back. He said thanks for the pump up.
Yeah, like, you know,
He doesn't need it, but he's good. He doesn't need to pump up because he knows he's good out there.
Are you just trying to get better rates?
No, he got me pretty good rates. If you're looking for insurance, call Tony. Next, Logan Bliss, another 2019
Yep.
angler, and Jordan Meadow, both
Fish.
fished 2019. Both great anglers. Logan Bliss took some time away from fishing tournaments in general the last couple of years, and every time I seen him, I'm like, "Where you at? Like, your check spot's there." Because every tournament he's in, he's a threat.
Okay.
And Logan's a good dude. Not saying Jordan's not, but I was like, every time I'd see him, I'd bust him up a little bit, and then he finally came back to fishing Wisco's last year, and so he's getting back into the tournament scene, and that's a scary thought for a lot of other anglers because Logan Bliss and Jordan Meadow can catch them. So, 2 Bago hammers are next. Anybody that fishes any tournaments on Winnebago chain, know there's 2 people on this. Both guys on this team are taking a check in every tournament. And that's just reality. Casey Hoffman, Kyle Weston. They're both cashing checks every week out on the Bago system. So
And Kyle was signed up for 2022.
he was. Yep.
He was signed up. I think it was it one of the later events? Obviously, we didn't get to it, but he was excited. He was pissed off, but he was excited to be a part of it, and now he's even more excited to be back again.
Yep. It's this field is stacked. There isn't a slouch on here. So the next team is Chris Frederick and Ron Twardowski. Chris is a past champion.
both past H2H.
Ron fished multiple events.
Well, he 2019 as well.
Yep. So them 2, both really good friends of mine. I'm excited to see them. They're traveling over from Marshfield every Wednesday to fish. So that's cool. The commitment that they're putting into, same with Logan. Some other guys are traveling as well. But
Do we want to talk about the battle on the Bassin on the Border event when Ron unfortunately put his boat
we need to show that clip.
on the sandbar?
That clip needs to come back.
That was
Sure, we have
Larry.
somewhere.
Larry Eaton was
Larry
his
was.
camera operator that day.
I thought Larry was going to die that day. Like, not from what happened, but from lifting and pushing on a boat.
Yeah, that's not easy.
They were bad. It was
He was
bad.
stuck. Yep.
It was like a half an hour, if not more.
Yeah, I think it was like 45 minutes a time they lost.
Who came and helped him get off the sandbar?
Spillway.
Spillway Steve.
Spillway Steve, the party rocker.
Let's not go down that road right now.
He had the first nickname self-given, but Spillway Steve. Next, I don't know his partner, but Matthew Ward. Matt's been fishing the Bago chain a lot. He fished. There was a clip most people would remember where he was throwing his anchor down in some big waves on Bago, and then were some big waves.
Getting swamped.
He was getting swamped. That was a cool event. Matt's excited. He's a Bago guy, like the lake proper guy. He will be making a boat ride if he needs to from every one of our launches.
Mang Lee and Steve Lopez fished that same event.
Yes. Yep. And then Logan Keene is his. Sorry, Logan, if I'm not saying your last name right, but I don't know that I've ever met Logan, but he's obviously got the confidence of Matt to jump in his boat. So this next angler is fishing alone. I asked him multiple times if he wanted to designate a partner for later on in the year, so in case he needed somebody. Will Britton, he's a local guy, fishes. He's a part of the Wolf River Bass Club, knows the system, knows it well.
The animated, I'm fishing by myself.
Yep, he wants to do this alone. So
Send it.
That's awesome.
I give him a lot of credit.
Heck yeah.
Well, you're already down 50%.
It's a daunting task being down 50% in anything you do.
Right, but he leaves the dock every day down 50% in lines in the water, number of casts, like
not even
from the get-go.
practice too.
Right, practice, one
know.
boat versus two boats probably.
Yep. And then the last team, the 10th team, is Jim Jones. Jim's been fishing locally in national trails forever, and Chris Wilson. So that's
So out
the
of those
bass line.
anglers, what was it, 7 have fished head-to-head in the past?
Oh, 1, 2,
I don't
3.
know Jim Jones, but I heard that he's
4,
going to be a
5.
force this year.
I was just going overall teams.
7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the 18 anglers on here right now.
18 anglers. But
Have
I
fished in the
think
past.
that, I don't know, to me, I think that really relates back to the format itself. And there's a lot of naysayers and there's a lot of people that just don't understand it.
Yep.
Kyle, until you do it, I'm never going to let you,
Justin, you?
dude, I'm never going to let that go.
Birthday, I'll let it go.
I'm just not going to let it go. Never going to go. Anyway,
Hold on, let me get my eraser.
no, but like once you do, it's just different doing it. Once you do it, it's just different, and it's kind of addicting, which is why it was kind of designed. It was not kind of. It was meant to be addicting.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was meant to be that an adrenaline rush because everybody that does this, they were athletes at one time for the most part. At one point in their life, they were an athlete. All athletes like adrenaline,
Yep.
and you don't get that adrenaline rush from just normal fishing.
How much, you said 10 of 18 teams or anglers have fished this. How much do you think they have a leg up at all over the anglers that don't? Meaning the format, and I don't care what any of you say, that camera is going to play a part for those who aren't used to it.
100%.
1000% they have an advantage. Anybody that has been on camera before and at any level has an advantage. Like Kyle Weston, I don't know that he's ever been on camera before, and it's going to be tough for him to not be shy.
It's
Casey as well, both of them guys.
how
He
many
spends a lot of time in his free time on camera.
how many times
OnlyFans, maybe, right?
have we heard from anglers that have fished in the past saying this is the most intense format they have ever fished?
All
And
of
that
them.
was-
No, but pretty much
All of them say that, and the majority of the anglers are experienced tournament anglers
And
in
I
an
think-
8-hour event.
And I
They
think we
come
made
back
it worse this year by going to 4 hours.
in one day. And like you think about it, a lot. I go back to like when we were talking about Mangalee and Colin. Like in all those anglers, their hands were exhausted. They were physically, mentally exhausted. And then when Brian came up with this format. The biggest thing is he's like, I don't want it to be as much physically exhausting because it's going to take a mental toll on a lot of our anglers. And they say that. They get off the water and they're like, gosh darn it. Like, can I say, God damn it? Like I already did.
Well, I never wanted it.
Yeah.
I never wanted as a coach and a guy that loves sports, I never wanted the match to, what was that? I do.
Kyle,
No, but
did you know he coached?
No.
I do. I never wanted the outcome of a match to come down to a mechanical failure,
Right.
batteries.
And we always had that.
But things that are outside of the angler's control, right? To a point.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, if there's going to be a difference maker, it's because I cracked and you didn't.
Yep.
Mentally, or the physical part. Like you're going to have to be physically in shape to do a lot of this stuff, right? Because the more physically in shape you are, the better this is. And if I'm going to beat you, it's because I'm going to outdo you, not because you had a boat problem. I mean, it's going to happen probably too, but.
happen.
But that's part of the days, right? Like we can't do 2 8-hour days back to back. You can't recharge your batteries that fast.
Right.
It just doesn't work. Your boat batteries that fast. You just can't do it. It's just not possible.
The nice thing about, you say breakdowns, like, yeah, we're on like the bay, we're going out of Volcano. That doesn't mean you can go to Big Bay. That doesn't mean you can go to Northern Door County. We're going to have some of limits because we have to get people back.
Right.
Like the whole process has to work. So they're going to have plenty of water to fish.
But the nice thing is with that field is we can adjust if the bite's happening somewhere.
Right.
And everybody's like, hey, we're all up here. We can just slide up or slide back or whatever.
Yep.
Just to try to get it, show-wise.
The DNR is working with us really well on this one. Like they've actually done us a lot of favors. They've seen the potential in the format and how good the conservation side of it is. So they've been great so far this year. So allowing us to make that change
Yeah.
is nice. So, in the bass side, if we launch out of Fremont and somebody wants to run to the lake, they could they have a half hour. They can take their truck to a different launch.
Yeah, we're still allowing
We're
that.
still allowing, but your time starts a half hour prior to lines in. So if if guys that are launching right there, they can put their boats in the water and be ready. So when half hour hits and I tell them they can leave, they can go. The guys in the trucks got to drive and then go to be to their spot. So,
And I don't know that
that's a lot of pressure right there in itself.
they always like that too, where it's not just one boat launch and they have to drive to.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you get 10 miles. I mean, I've always said that. You get 10 miles a gallon in your truck, you get 3 if you're really driving slow in a boat.
Not to mention the conditions.
And we saw that quite a bit on the Mississippi River events. Guys would come off one pool, go to the next pool.
Oh, we saw, who was it that picked
Adam
up?
Isley did it at Madison.
He literally picked up and moved midday.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that move?
Yeah,
He was down. He was down by like 12 or 13 pounds and
he
came
went
back to win.
to the river.
Which is awesome.
Was it Koshkong or
Yeah, he smashed on a swim
Do
jig.
that in a different tournament.
Right.
Okay, so that's the bass lineup.
Should we cover the bass schedule?
Yeah, let's do that. Yep.
Event?
Wow, look at you go. I'm going to turn you guys into programmers yet.
Where's that page?
That's all I'm
Same
doing. I'm trying
page.
to do every stuff.
You know what I was really impressed with last night, Matt? He put that Facebook post out there. He put the time zone in there.
I always put time zones in.
Well, there's been a couple of times you haven't.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to like high five you for
Birthday,
that.
remember?
Yeah, okay.
I honestly, I read
You're
it.
right, Brian. Damn, I learned so much from your coaching ability.
No, but I honestly, I read that. I'm like,
glad I
God, I
got
didn't see the
knee-high
time
boots
zone
on.
in
I
there.
always try to put
I
the
didn't see the time zone in there, and I was going to message you when I got home. I looked at it again. It was there. I was so proud.
all the dude factor on social media because they're really good at. I do all time zones all the time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Andy, do I do time zones?
I'm glad I got knee-high boots on because this shit's getting pretty deep. All right, so we are on the bass schedule. So first event, April 17th, Fox River, Little Lake Butamore. That one's going to be fun. Fishing's
And we
great.
already know who's going to win it. So we got that down. So everybody else is fishing for second.
Whoever's got that match has got a tough one. They're going to have to catch him because the other guy's gonna. If I don't know if he's fishing AM or
When are
PM,
we?
but
Are these all these matches going to go? This full schedule is going to end up on the website when it's done, right?
yeah, yep,
So everybody,
I
so
have-
the matches ahead of time, we'll all know.
yep. I can send them all.
You've got
I
all
have
that
it all
done, right?
It's all done.
Okay.
May 1st, Winnebago chain. So out of Winneconne. So
That includes the wolf, right?
Yep.
And the fox.
yep. So we're going to meet in Winneconne, and if an angler wants to go launch at Menominee Park, they can go drive their truck to Menominee Park. If they want to go up to Gills, they can do that. Next one stays on the chain, Winnebago, but Menominee Park. So we'll meet at Menominee, same thing. And that's what this is. We're just moving launches through the system. Next one is June 5th, back to Winneconne from Menominee Park. The following one, June 19th, Fremont. So we'll be up in the river. So that's a button hook to the lake guys a little bit. So they're gonna have to make a decision.
That we've always wanted to do the wolf, and we're finally at the capabilities to do
Yep.
it. And I think that's going to be. Remember the Mississippi again. All the guys driving the boats like insanity. Now there's a lot of slow no wakes that time of year on the wolf, but that's some of the most badass footage of those guys running the Mississippi in the cut.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And there's not quite that on the wolf, but you'll see some awesome.
You'll see some, definitely. Then we're back to Winneconne on July 24th. Back up to the river, but out of Gills, August 7th. August 21st, back to Winneconne. September 4th, back out to Menominee Park. So when I made the schedule, I was trying to hit times a year that are the best in each area, and I think I knocked it out of the park, but the anglers are going to tell the
Why
story.
didn't you send any bass events to the bay?
Just because we'd be in, I don't even want to say the word, Sturgeon Bay, and Sturgeon Bay can kiss my ass. So
So he said it. There we go.
that's just the way it is. We could go out of Little Sturgeon, and I was honestly worried about filling it on the bay only.
Okay.
Because there's bay heads, and bay heads typically don't travel. So I would like to see a schedule like we have on the walleye side where it's split. But that's,
Well, maybe that's next year.
and
We ran into
the
some of the
DNR, there are different, believe it or not, there are different rules as far as boundaries for walleye than there is for bass.
Okay.
The walleyes are a lot more forgiving. Bass, if you launch in Door County, you only get Door County waters. So there's some factors there. And then the September 17th and 18th is the playoffs, and that is out of Winneconne.
Okay.
Kept that central, give everybody the same. We're out of Winneconne the most. It gives everybody the central location. So we got less than 15 minutes, so we got to go to the walleye side.
Okay.
Kyle's
Anglers.
staying on time.
Well, I don't want to get yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at for going over.
I haven't heard a word from Andy in forever.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Andy, does your mic still work? I didn't hear him.
He's talking.
He's quiet. You're good. Just keep going.
I got you. Go ahead, Andy.
All right. Walleye side. There is 12 anglers that fished in a previous event in the walleye side. First team, again, doesn't mean anything, just for numbers. Jeff Nectarline, Vince Moldenhauer. Obviously, Jeff don't need any accolades. He's got enough of his own. He's well known in head-to-head. Vince, from what I hear, is a stud river fisherman. He's from La Crosse area. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
Next team is the captain, Jim Keller's back with his normal tournament partner Larry Eaton. Going to be exciting. Going to see how many sheephead they can catch on Bago.
I think this format sets up really well for him, to be honest with you. I know how he fishes more than anybody, or better than anybody. I think the way head-to-head is built is kind of tailored for his style.
And it's not the marathon anymore either of 1 week, right?
He's 75 years old now, so it's no spring chicken.
Do you think he's going to be able to troll as much as he's done in the past? I know you don't know this because you don't talk to your dad.
I truly think we're gonna see more trolling than
I'm like this because I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we're gonna have more trolling than we did in the past.
I think trolling is, I still think, and I still believe in the walleye side, if you know how to do it, trolling will win a lot. If you do it right.
Right. What is it, 2 lines again this year? Or is it
Well, it's state laws.
State law.
So they can fish 3.
They can
Whatever
fish
state
3.
law is.
Yep. Larry Eaton again, Larry's been with us everything head-to-head from the beginning.
Yep.
So as a cameraman, behind the scenes as a marshal, he's actually going to be a cameraman for the bass side.
Right.
So Larry's going to be with us all year. Next, another person that's fished with Nectarline in the past and against them, they drew each other the first day, was Ryan Foster and Mike Lewis. Another great team, both well-known anglers, local area. Number 4, another angler that's fished with us, Mitch Dawn. They're going to be here tonight, and Brandon Ruffalo.
Yep.
So anybody that, again, it sounds like a broken record, but they're studs. I think Mitch finished 2nd or 3rd in the NWT out here on the Bago this last year. So number 5, Ted Miller, Cody Solberg. Again, great anglers. Cody's got a lot going on with his YouTube stuff. Yes. He's very involved in the industry. We saw Ted fish as a partner with Jeff, and obviously they won that event. This next team I'm super excited about because they fished in the past, is really good people. Alex and Nikki King, husband and wife team. Yeah. That's going to be fun to watch.
And they were adamant that when we announced that we were thinking about relaunching, he's like, I don't care if I have to fish bass or walleye. I want it.
Yeah, he wanted it. He wanted in. He probably asked, I would say close to once every 2 or 3 months. Yep. When it's coming back.
You remember on the Dude Factor, when I was in Colorado, we kind of made the announcement that it was coming back, and I think he messaged instantly.
Yep, he did.
And because he's also a Fixed TV subscriber, and we were talking through Fixed TV, and he's like, I don't care. I don't care if it's bluegills. I'm in. And that was what it was. And they did a great job on camera, so that's going to be an exciting team.
Yeah, they're excited. They're definitely pumped up for it. Dave McCoy and Derek Bolger. Dave fished a Fox River event. I remember when we had the secret lure, they actually, one of the teams that caught like an 8-pounder or something on the secret lure.
Turned into, I think, an 8-pounder, wasn't it? Or was
I think it was 8 and it turned to 16.
It doubled their weight.
I could be wrong, but I know it doubled their weight, whatever it was. And it mattered. It definitely mattered that day. Derek Bolger is a guide up in Door County, so he knows his way around the local body's water for sure. Austin Crossman, Jordan Powers.
Solid team.
Young team, motivated team, like both great guys, both fished head-to-head in the past on the Fox River. It's going to be a good, fun team to watch.
That's a solid team right there.
Yep. Nick and Andrew Kotowski. I've never met neither one of these two. They came highly recommended from Jeff and some other anglers. They're going to be fun to watch.
And this is the second time we have a brother team. We had a brother team in 2022 as well, and those guys were hilarious on
How
camera.
do you remember that crap?
It was
no, I'm thinking Pennston-Staller, and that's not it.
No, it's
Because the only reason I remember is because they were rocking out before we had fixed TV, and we had to warn them some of their
the audio, the music is- yeah.
Tim brought their names up yesterday.
Yeah, shoot.
Don't remember.
I can't remember. But
I can text them both.
That's awesome to see. We have a father-son team, and now we have
awesome.
another brother team. That's great.
Yep.
And a husband-wife team, so it's awesome.
The last team is both have fished head-to-head in the past. Both have been fans, and part of it from the beginning is Joe Mans and Scott Hausauer.
Yep.
So them two are going to be fun to watch. Obviously, they both know the Fox River. Them are the events they fished. Scott might have fished Bago.
I think he did.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he had a good day if I remember right, but he did fish.
Yeah, he fished Bago and a Fox River.
Bago was rough that year.
Yeah, it was
I
very
feel like
rough.
Scott fished a Fox event.
I believe he did
I think
too.
he fished a Fox event, and then he also fished on Bago.
Yeah. I know Joe really wants us to go up to.
I think I know why you're laughing.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't get into it.
I think I missed it.
We have less than 10 minutes.
Okay,
That's why I'm laughing.
that's the walleye roster.
Sweet.
It's, again, full of hammers, full of local guys. They know the Bay, they know Winnebago. There's some guys that are better on one than the other. They're kind of,
Well,
I'm not going to speak for them, but they're playing their odds. Like they're fishing against one other team every day.
for
So,
everybody that wants us to fish a different body of water, I'm going to challenge them that this might be more interesting, is watching these guys adapt as the year goes on.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Because fishing different bodies of water, like if you're a topwater guy, you're going to try to find a topwater bite everywhere you go. Right? Or if you're the troller guy or the blade bait guy in the river in the spring, and you're really, really good at that, well, what are you going to do in Winnebago in June? Because your blade baits aren't going to play. You know what I mean? Or if you're the topwater guy and you can really fish topwater lacrosse, okay, great. Well, what are you going to do? Maybe the topwater bite plays in the Upper Wolf River once in a while, but what are you going to do in Winnebago?
All right.
Like, I think that's going to almost be more interesting than watching the same guys fish their honey holes all the time.
It's going to force people out of their comfort zone. Definitely.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see if people stop fishing community holes as much and actually go for the gusto and just start going to their spots.
Well, towards the end of the year, when that win-loss really matters to make that playoffs, you're going to see people do what
Well,
they
there
need
will
to win.
become a point in time where playing it safe isn't going to work.
Right.
Yep.
Because you're 2 games out of the playoffs, which is what I love about the win-loss records.
Right.
You're 2 games out of the playoffs, and you have to win.
Or you could be in a 5-way tie.
Right.
So,
Where tiebreakers are going to decide,
the
right?
day of events, how did we discuss it? It's 6 fish the AM and 4 or 6 and 4. That's the way it's going to be, right?
Yeah, so AM is 3 matches, so 6 teams. PM is 4 teams. It's like that the whole year, 2
So
matches.
it is more in the AM than
More in the AM than the PM.
Okay.
And that's by design. So if, we have all of our people there right away in the morning. If
But then all
if
of the
something
anglers kind of
happens,
fish a mix.
if something happens, say somebody hits a deer or gets a flat tire or something, we could slide into the PM. So we have some leniency with having more in the AM, I feel.
But what I would say, no, is the anglers, it's not everyone, there's not a team that's always fishing mornings versus afternoons.
Correct. It's
Like we mix that up, which is also interesting to get to see how these bodies of water fish a little differently, AM versus PM.
Yep.
Yep. So the venues, the lakes we're going to, obviously these are all Bay or Winnebago. We're starting the year off as we should, as we did with walleye, is Fox River and De Pere out of Brown County Fairgrounds. March 27th, it's coming quick. And then the following Wednesday, back to De Pere out of the Brown County Fairgrounds on April 3rd. April 24th, O'Connell Breakwall. Again, try to get the bites, right? Like that's the best time to be up there.
And that was one that we've never been able to go to
Right,
because of COVID and I think weather, wasn't it?
right. May 8th and May 29th are both Winneconne. I have Winneconne spelt wrong next to each other, so that's kind of funny. I just caught that. May 8th, 29th on Winneconne. June 12th, Menominee Park on Lake Winnebago. We're going to follow that back up at Menominee Park again, June 26th. July 27th, back up to O'Connell Breakwall. July 31st, Bayshore. And then the August 13th and 14th will be the playoffs, and that is TBD as far as where we're going to be, what venue we're going to use. It's going to be one of them. It's just a matter of where the best bite
I
is.
think I was going to say we're just going to chase the bite and go wherever it's the best.
It could be absolute fire.
It could be an absolute banger schedule, depending on how Winnebago decides to show up.
Right.
Well, either way,
It
it's a
could be a
wild
little
card.
finicky.
Yeah.
Bago's the wild card in the whole thing. So
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like Bago, like the Bay is pretty consistent overall. Bago she can be a little finicky, so it'll be interesting to know how that goes.
Did you guys talk about the weights for walleye versus
did,
bass?
yep.
Okay. Because it's 1 for walleye, 1 pound.
Yep.
And then anything plus 2 for.
bass, yep.
So who do we have tonight?
We have Mitch Dawn and Brandon Ruffalo. Our Ruffalo will be here.
And they're in studio.
They're in studio
Like right here.
at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep. So that at 5 Central Standard Time. You can watch that, and you can watch it on Fix and all the other platforms right now. And then that's the first team that kicks off the Meet the Anglers portion of it. And then it kind of the way you announced them is the way they're scheduled, I believe.
Yep. The schedule for the Meet the Anglers.
We'll get that schedule
We'll get
posted
it.
We can
too.
post it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that should be fun. I have a lot of fun with those because we really get to know
Yeah, for
these
sure.
teams
Yeah.
inside and out.
And it's good for the fans to put faces to names and not have to wait for the first event. You know, another cool thing that we do that here, like we did for the PWS, is we have a media day where we bring all the teams here. We get pictures, you know, for production, team pictures, individual pictures, fun stuff in front of the green screen, just stuff that we can do and make it better. So.
All right. Well, this is fun. This kind of kicks off our year.
Absolutely.
So our goal is to do these style shows every Thursday morning.
Yep.
And then we'll have Meet the Anglers every Thursday night until they end right around the first bass event. So we have walleye and bass comboed, and then we'll be here Thursday mornings, and then the events are always every Wednesday.
Well, then this show will turn into more of a highlight recap of the day before. A lot of replays, get you caught up if you didn't see it yesterday, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Interviews probably, I'm sure.
Chat's always great. Thanks to everybody that jumped on the chat.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see the fans and answer questions as we go.
It's fun to get back in the seat
Yeah.
and do it. It was a long 23 without doing head-to-head. And I
exciting.
know everybody here is anxious to do it. I know the fans are too. So thanks everybody for joining us. Come back tonight, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for Meet the Anglers. We got Mitchell Dawn and Brandon Ruffalo will be here with Brian and I. And then we're going to go from there. So have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody, and we'll see you at 5 p.m.